Hello and welcome to a new edition of Sustainer Talk TV. Today I'm talking to Dr. Markus Ulbrich from Central Process Development about a vision of emission-free production starting at our production sites in Germany, Burghausen and Nünchritz. A warm welcome in the studio, Markus.
Hello.
Yeah, and as always, before we start, a few personal either-or questions to you. So rather Burghausen or the world?
Burghausen, it is.
Clear answer. And as the barbecue season is to start, vegetables or rather meat?
Well, I like to grill both, but I see that the meat comes from local farmers.
Mm-hmm. And as spring is in the air, you use then the bicycle or prefer the car?
The bicycle. Burghausen is very beautiful to bicycle.
Okay. Yeah, one of our main targets is to reduce our CO2 footprint significantly within our Sustainer Balance program, within the pillar Footprint Down. It is a reduction by 50% until 2030 and even by 100%, meaning really emission-free or net zero until 2045. I assume that our production plans and processes play an important role to achieve these goals. Markus, can you describe where this emission come from and what we already do today to reduce them?
You're totally correct. Our sites in Burghausen and in Nünchritz, they contribute a major part to our direct CO2 emissions. That is because we need steam to power our processes. And this steam is produced in power plants or gas boilers at the sites. And to produce the steam, we have to use natural gas as of today. And these emissions, they are about 590,000 tons per year, and these are 45% of our total CO2 emissions. So that's a major part of our emissions. And today, we already use a lot of our waste heat to generate steam. Also, that comes also from electricity, which we use in our processes. And that's about 60 to 70% already that we use as regenerative heat to power our processes. But the remaining part still comes out of our power plants. And today, or we already are improving our CO2 footprint by optimizing our processes and building optimal plants. And that is kind of in our genes. We do that all the time. But the best ton of CO2 I can avoid is a ton of steam I don't need. So this is already in place today.
So does this mean with all these optimization of the processes, we can become emission-free by 2045?
Yeah, that would be very beautiful if we can do that. But unfortunately, physics sets its limit. So to achieve completely net zero, we have to use new technologies to achieve this goal.
So indeed, an emission-free production is really a vision of the future. You just say we need new technologies. Can you now briefly explain how these new kind of technologies look like?
Yes, of course. So an emission-free production is a really beautiful vision, and it is not. It is a really concrete vision we have. We have a clear plan how to do that, and one thing that we're gonna use is we put the steam in our processes and we have to cool the heat off. And this, we say waste heat. It comes off with cooling water, with air coolers. It goes just into the environment. And this heat we are gonna use in the future to power our processes. And because of this, we can do this very efficiently. Right now, the heat is at the wrong temperature level. It's about 30 to 45 degrees centigrade. And as we know, steam is boiled water. 45 degrees centigrade is not enough to boil water. And we use a technology that takes this energy and puts it on a new temperature level that is enough to generate the steam for our processes. And this technology is called heat pumps. It's a technology nearly everyone has at home. It's the refrigerator. It takes the heat out of the refrigerator into the environment. We take the heat from the environment, put it with it's cutting edge technology, put it on a very high temperature level to produce the steam. And because we use this heat, we can use 70% of the off heat to fuel our processes. And when we use 1 megawatt hour of electricity, with electric boilers, we can only generate 1 megawatt hour of steam. And with the heat pumps, we only need a third of the electric energy, or in some really efficient cases, only a seventh of the electric energy to generate the steam. And therefore we have the optimal, the most efficient use of electric energy to power our processes. And during the last year, we had a very good and close collaboration with the infrastructure teams of Burghausen and Nünchritz, and we developed a clear roadmap with technologies that we can or would be able to implement today to become emission-free, to transform the sites to a green, we call it green steam because it's emission-free, to a green steam production and therefore be emission-free.
So this means with this kind of electrification of our processes in the end, we virtually can be emission-free, as you said.
Correctly.
So is this really the case, or is this rather by, let's say, mathematical calculation like the mass balance approach?
Well, first of all, we need green electricity so in the best case, this green electricity comes from local renewable energy plants to power the processes directly. Right now in Burghausen, we are buying guarantees of origin that we ensure that the electricity we buy comes with no emissions. And if we do that, and if we use this electricity to generate the steam with the heat pumps, we shut down our power plants. Every ton of steam we reduce in the power plants, and in the end, with an emission-free production, the power plants and the gas boilers will be turned off, and we will be emission-free. So that's a thing you can really see, and it's a physical avoidance of CO2.
And what is the status in terms of electrification today?
Well, because of our polysilicon production, we already buy a low single-digit terawatt hours of electricity per year. And this electricity in the processes is already used. The processes are cooled and produce steam already today. And together with these process efficiency measures, heat recovery, we already have today highly electrified steam generation with 60 to 70% of electrification or renewable energy use. Yeah.
This really sounds great, but on the other hand, also the profitability is a virtual part of sustainability. And I assume that with all these new technologies, our products may get more expensive, and by this, maybe we lose competitiveness.
We see these heat pump technologies, these efficient technologies, as a clear strategic investment for the future. Because what happens today is CO2 prices are increasing and increasing. So naturally, our natural gas becomes more expensive. On the other hand, renewable electricity capacity is expanded all over Germany. And we expect that in the future we will have a surplus of green energy, and the electricity prices for green energy will drop. And with this in place, we can even produce at a very competitive price range cheaper than today. So it's a good technology for our future.
And indeed, it sounds quite easy. So we just purchase much more green electricity today, and we can already start emission-free production tomorrow.
Well, these heat pumps, they are a fundamental piece of our roadmap for the net zero goal for 2045. Right now, we are working on process efficiency measures, on heat recoveries. We are rebuilding the infrastructure on both sides to fit this future steam system and to use economic feasible measures today. But as of today, we see cheap gas prices and high electricity, and that's a very difficult environment for having a really economically feasible heat pump project. But as I explained, we expect it to change in the future, so that the heat pumps become a really good option for us. And today we are looking for funding options. So if we can get a cheap, guaranteed electricity price or investment funding, it's a very good option to start today with the first heat pump projects. And it's a really large transformation roadmap. You cannot do this in 1 year. We expect it to take 10 to 15 years to transform these our sites to emission-free production. So as soon as we closely monitor gas prices, electricity prices. As soon as we see that we have an economically feasible operation for these plants, or if our goals make this project become necessary to achieve them, we will start with this roadmap.
So really very, very interesting, and thanks a lot for all these valuable explanations, Markus. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, well, of course. As I said, we are right now at a very high pace transforming, but with heat recovery and process efficiency measures. So if anyone from the business divisions, from the sites, from the technical teams, anyone has good ideas for process efficiency, process optimization, they should come to us, because as we said in the beginning, the best ton of CO2 I can save is the one I don't have to emit. And yeah.
Of course, I strongly support this request, dear colleagues. And again, Markus, thanks a lot that you were today the guest in my studio. And thanks a lot for watching this new edition, and stay sustainable.
Wacker, creating tomorrow's solutions.